Hello, I'm Robin and welcome to the Hydrasynth Explorer Road Test 2. Now, a couple of days ago, I took this fella out to play in the outside world, in the environment, to sample the sounds and enjoy the whole act of playing a synthesizer in the countryside. It's a beautiful idea. I'm really into that idea and want to do much more of it. And so it was a really great way to test using the cameras, using sound, using how you do it, and the logistics of making that work. The one thing I didn't count on is that the batteries that I put into here were flat in under 12 minutes. 12 minutes. It says on the website, right, 3 to 4 hours. But anyway, it was still a real world example of what happens and how it works, and I made some good sounds and I enjoyed the time that I had with it. But after posting the video, it grew important in my head that I need to try this again. Because I'm essentially putting out there that this is rubbish and only works at 12 minutes on batteries, when that may or may not be true. It was true in that particular situation, in that particular test, with those particular batteries. But is that more generally true? Did I do something wrong? Did I stuff it up? Did I get the completely wrong batteries? And I think overall, I feel it's worth doing it again. Now, I could do it under sort of laboratory conditions and test out different sorts of batteries, but I don't want to do that, and it's of no use to anyone particularly. What's more useful is to have an actual situation where you actually take the synthesizer outside into that environment and use it as a portable synthesizer, as an explorer, which is what it says here. So I'm going to do the whole thing all over again now with different batteries to see if it's any better. Hopefully it will be. 3 hours seems unlikely. I mean, I just want half an hour. I want half an hour sitting out there having a lovely time playing with the sounds so that we can all experience the wonderfulness of the synthesizer and I can start to explore it a bit more, because I've had literally 10 minutes with it so far. And so doing it for real just seems far more useful, far more important, and probably more interesting. So first things first, let's change the batteries. So these were the ones that I was using, these Panasonics. I mean, honestly, there's no real information on what sort of batteries you should get. I went down my local shop and I said, could I have some AA batteries, please? They said, sure, do you want the expensive ones or the regular ones? And I said, well, regular ones I'm sure will be fine. And so that's what they gave me. And that was this pack here, a pack of Panasonic zinc carbon batteries. Now that apparently is the problem, zinc carbonness. These are only really designed to go in things that don't need any power, like clocks and stuff. Although nothing really says that anywhere. Regardless, so I thought I'd better get some slightly better batteries. Now, of course, I should go for the Duracells or the Energizer, but that also doesn't seem quite right either, because, as I say, the documentation for this on the website just says AA batteries, which is what they are. Or if you look in the back of the manual, there's a slightly more information there where it says alkaline or nickel, manganese or nickel something or other batteries. So alkaline, right. So let's do that then. Where did I put them? They're here. So I got these, which I've used a lot and used before, never in a synthesizer, mind. But these are Kodak. They look very much like Duracell, but no, they're not. They're Kodak, and they are called, if I can focus on it, Extra Life Alkaline. So hopefully these will take us past 10 minutes onto maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes. 3 to 4 hours, that still seems really unlikely to me, but who knows? But ultimately this is not a test of will these batteries last for 3 hours. This is a test of can I go out in the countryside and spend half an hour having a nice time on this portable battery driven synthesizer. That is the point right there. So let me stick these in. So there we have all of my batteries. I'll just check that it turns on and then we'll go. Looking good. Looking good. Yeah, okay. That's holding. That's good. We'll go with that. I'll make sure it's off and we'll go and see what occurs. Now, other gear I'm taking this camera. I'm taking this. I found my fluffy thing for it. So hopefully I shouldn't get quite so much terrible wind noise as I got last time. So that's very exciting. Very exciting to take that along. I feel like a proper field recordist. Amazing. I've got a pair of headphones, a couple of cables, GoPro, you know. Let's see what occurs, and hopefully I can find a spot, a different spot, another spot out in the Norfolk countryside to enjoy the Hydrasynth Explorer. There it is. Yeah, that's not picking up anywhere near as much wind noise, which is awesome. That's in record. That's recording. That's recording. And there's somebody coming up the road, which is just awesome. But never mind. We're just going to do what we do. This is all a little bit sideways and backwards. So, let's just play and see what we've got. Let's move on from a few of the presets. Fantasia, eh? To be out of the open at the very least. Everything's going to have to come forward because it's just not comfortable. That's better. That's better. I mean, the sound is huge. It's just huge. So let's go off. flipping heck, that's the storming one. So that's about half an hour, roughly speaking, which is great. There's no sign of batteries running out. Not that it gave me any sign last time, for that matter. In fact, my GoPro is probably going to run out shortly. The camera here looks okay. My recorder is not giving me any indication. Oh yeah, there you go. It's halfway through its batteries, using the same batteries, funnily enough. So that has officially been a far more useful experience, I think. So what on earth I was doing with those other batteries, I have no idea. But here we are, exploring the Explorer, and you can do so officially. I've tested it, look, on batteries. No bother. I think we'll do just a little bit more. I think I might wind through to maybe another whole bank. Is there another whole bank? Yeah, let's go through to the B bank. See what we can find. So I think that's probably enough. I think I will just do a little bit of the random patch. There we go. Because somebody asked, what happens when you press a random button? No one ever does that. That's because it's probably not any good. Oh, I don't know. So yeah, randomization then is, as always, a bit hit and miss. Let's try initializer patch. So you just get a sawtooth. Saw. And I think we can only hear oscillator 1. Let's bring oscillator 2 in. Since I don't actually know how to assign anything to anything, that might be a problem. Filter 1, envelope. Oh look, there's pages. For heaven's sake, there's pages. So there we have it, the Hydrasynth Explorer, doing what I hoped it would do, being what I hoped it would be, out in the countryside, side of a road, side of a field, just kind of enjoying the sounds, enjoying the possibilities, discovering what it's about. I'm finding my way around this collection of buttons now. These 4 knobs here are very exciting, do lots of exciting things, and very grippable. I'm loving the knobs. The feel of the knobs on this machine is really nice. And there's not too much going on. I mean, evidently there's so much going on within a patch. But in terms of the control system on here, it's kind of simplified and accessible. I don't feel overwhelmed particularly. And that's a nice place to be with the synthesizer. Have I have any clue as to what's going on inside? No, not at all. Of course not. That's not important at this point. You know, I haven't explored the waveforms. I haven't explored all the different things it could possibly do. I mean, I think in going through different patches, what I've found is that in some places there's too much going on. There's a lot of presets you can't do a whole lot with other than press down a note and let it do its thing, you know, and that's not particularly useful or necessarily fun to play with. You just, oh, okay, that does that, great. It doesn't inspire me musically necessarily. I much prefer to use my own arpeggiation, my own changes on those sorts of things in order to find those rhythms. But then that's just me. So they could have calmed it down a little bit to try to find the smoother and more simplified and more organic textures, perhaps, because it's big and it's edgy, which is, I mean, it's a wavetable thing. You have this glassiness, you have this digital nature, I suppose, which I always tend to find a little bit harsh, and there's a ton of harshness going on here without any doubt. I mean, that filter is amazing, so raucous, and that drive just really meets in there, you know, but you don't always want that. Sometimes it could be a little bit gentler, I think. Perhaps it's just a matter of finding the gentleness within it, because otherwise most of it is full force, bam, straight into your face. You know, definitely has a vibe in that respect. The keyboard is totally workable, you know, no problem with that. It does have a weight to it, which is slightly unexpected on a mini keyboard, but then it has that aftertouch. Although, I mean, the aftertouch is there and it's a factor. It's not used anywhere near as much as I thought it would be. I mean, in some patches it's all about it, but I thought there would be more to it somehow. I haven't quite nailed down exactly what the aftertouch is going to be about. I kind of felt that there could have been more opportunity to develop things within that. So sounds which are held, perhaps, and then a lead line over the top which is using the aftertouch more in order to develop a slightly different tone. Don't know. These are just free-flowing thoughts from having now played with it for another 45 minutes, which is great. 45 minutes? Fantastic. So everything I said about it being really crap on batteries, I'd like to take all that back. Now, I would say, though, that I'm going to leave that other video up because it was a real-world test. It was a real-world experience of what happened when you use crap batteries. And so it's valid for that reason, you know. And I don't think Ass and Sound machines necessarily make quite enough fuss about what sort of batteries you should use. And there's a, You know, there's a danger of disappointment there, like I had the other day. You know, that could be avoided if they're a little bit more upfront about which batteries you should get. Or maybe I'm just ridiculous and stupid, and no one would have ever got those sorts of crap batteries to do this. Well, maybe so, but I'm no expert in batteries, man. Why have I got to be expert in everything? AA, that's all it's... Anyway, we can get past that now. But yeah, I think that still stands as an interesting experiment on what can happen if you don't fully understand exactly what you're doing. Because in the summer I hope to do a lot more of that. That's going to involve a lot of battery testing, a lot of power pack testing, as I'm trying to run modular off a USB power bank. That's going to be fascinating, and hopefully I can find a lot more places to do the business. Is that a woodpecker? Could be. Anyway, it's lovely here. That was fun, slightly uncomfortable. See, I'm going to have to work on that as well. I'm trying to make myself more comfortable when playing out of doors. So yeah, interesting. I hope that's been helpful. In the meantime, go make some tunes.